Splatoon 3's DLC released. You might think this week. I say last year. Guys, Nintendo released Splatoon 3 DLC Wave 1 in 2023. It was like March or February or April. It was somewhere in that earlier range, right? And I bought it because Wave 1 gave you access to Inkopolis, which is the Splatoon 1, would you call it like city? Like when you load into Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, you would load into Inkopolis. Each game has a different setting that it takes place in. So I bought that DLC Wave 1, Day 1, because I was just so nostalgic with Splatoon 1. And then it takes a whole year later. But now we have Splatoon 3 Side Order, the Wave 2 of the DLC. Wave 2 of 2. There are no more after this. And it's essentially a whole nother single-player adventure. Let's just call it that. Now, in Nintendo's description, it says, Side Order is the second wave of the Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass DLC. It adds a brand new single-player campaign that's designed to be played again and again, just like spinning your favorite beats on repeat. So, as they said, it's designed to be played over and over and over, and you will never get bored of it. I've played about an hour and a half. This is called my first impressions segment on Splatoon 3 Side Order, and I want to talk about this game. Guys, I load in, and I don't know what I'm loading into, right? I load into Splatoon 3 Side Order, and right away, without spoiling nothing for you, apart from what's already in the trailers. If it's in a trailer, I'm talking about it today. Right away, you get hooked. No pun intended, off the hook. You get hooked with the whole story. You're immediately engaged and intrigued. You then create your character, your agent. And then what the whole DLC pretty much is, based off of my first hour and a half, is you're kind of like going up this tower called the Spire of Order, and you're accompanied by a drone. Now, the drone is actually Pearl from Splatoon 2. That is not a spoiler. It is in the trailer. I checked because I didn't want to spoil that if I didn't have to. So the drone is Pearl, and she's like kind of your guiding assistant with you, and you're just going up this tower. That's all I've ever done so far. You're going up a tower, and each level of the tower, so like if I'm on level 1, like the floor number 1, I do a level, and what you do in the levels is it gives you a brand new objective every single time. So let's say I'm on floor number 1. To go up to floor number 2, you have to kill all these enemies. Done. Now you're on floor 2. Floor 2, you have to defend this splat zone for 50 seconds. All right, cool, done. You go up, it gets harder. Floor number 3 is you have to transport these balls into the holes. All right, and then you keep on going up, and it keeps on giving you different objectives. Now, that's all I've gotten to so far. I've done a bit more than that, but if I said more, you might have some of the story spoiled for you, and I, of course, do not want to do that for you. So I don't want to do that, but it's just like there's always something to look forward to, because when you're doing any kind of story, but like no knock like against any kind of Mario game, but like this is no like Mario is great, right? But when you do Mario level after Mario level, excluding like Mario Wonder because that game's crazy, you kind of know what you're signing up for each time. Like, hey, clear the level, grab 3 star coins, wraps, right? With this, level after level is different. You're doing a different thing on a different place every single time. And for me, that's awesome. I shouldn't say every single time because, like, you know, floor 1 might be kill all the enemies. Then floor 8 might be the same thing, but harder. Like, so I shouldn't say every single time, but it is different. It's rapidly changing. And that I like. Based off the first impressions, I'm really enjoying it. Now, although only being 1 hour and a half into this DLC, I was actually chatting with Charlie from C.com, the other YouTuber that we had on the podcast last week. I was chatting with him about Side Order a little bit, not too much, because I didn't want to, like, spoil or anything, or sorry, like get things spoiled for me, because he's already beaten it, I think. He said, side order, while it starts off easy, it gets a lot harder. So if you're in for a challenge, my friend, prepare. Because while I've not gotten to this challenge yet, but I'm ready for it. So there is a challenge in the game. It's just a real fresh style of Splatoon. Like, for example, when you hit enemies, you see these numbers pop up, and it tells you, like, how much damage that you're doing. It's like a whole new style. Like, that doesn't happen in a Turf Wars or nothing, you know? So that's also awesome. And just after about 40 minutes, you begin to unlock more and more in the game. Like, you start off pretty limited, and then as you keep progressing, you keep unlocking more things to do and equip and all this kind of cool stuff. That's kind of my first impressions without spoiling anything. Okay? So, the question always is, whenever I do these first impression segments, is, hey Max, should I buy Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC? And I gotta be honest, guys. I've never, ever, dating back to, I think, Detective Pikachu Returns, I've never even said no to buy a game. Like, I've never said no. I always say, yes, buy this game. And looking back, I probably should have said do not buy Detective Pikachu Returns, because that game, I loved it, but I know a lot of people didn't. So based on that, I should have said no. But I liked that game, just like, because, I don't know, I'm a fan of that series. Even though the game wasn't phenomenal, I had fun, right? So that's why I said yes. But can you even trust me is kind of like what I'm getting at. Because I say yes every single time. However, I can't really find any negative comments on Side Order. Can we check, are there ratings for it? Side Order DLC ratings, because maybe this will give you more of a answer than I might. There aren't really ratings like that are easy to find. People will do like some reviews on it, but it's hard to find like a bunch of people. So, for example, Nintendo Life rated it an 8 out of 10, if that means much to you. For me, it's hard to find a bad review, a bad, like, this game sucks about Side Order. Does Metacritic have any reviews, guys? What do you think? Yes or no? Side Order, if they do, oh yeah, here we go. But it's TBD. So the only person here that has a rating on Metacritic is Nintendo Life with an 8 out of 10. There might be some more ratings on some YouTube videos if you want. Research the game a bit more. But currently, the only rating on Metacritic is Nintendo Life, 8 out of 10. So, for me personally, I would give it, based off 1 hour and a half, guys. 1 hour and a half, haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Just off the first impression, I would give it 8.5. We're gonna one-up Nintendo Life. 8.5 out of 10. Because there's just so much new. There's so many lanes that you can take when you're making a Splatoon game or DLC with a story. There's so many twists and turns that you can take with that, and it's really engaging so far. And I'm not even at the best part yet, and I feel this way. So for the low price, I say low, like, compared to the price of actual games and other DLCs. For the price of $24.99. Do I think that not only is Side Order worth it, but the Inkopolis Plaza Wave 1 of this Wave 2 DLC? I would say the DLC, all in all, is worth it. Side Order alone is probably worth the $25. But if you at all feel somewhat, connected to the Inkopolis Plaza, which is Wave 1 of the DLC, that came out last year. If you like that, that's a bonus, man. Because Side Order itself could be worth $25. I would say it's worth it, but what does my word even mean? Because I say yes, everything is worth it. I don't know, but that's how I genuinely feel. Side Order is a buy. Do it now or else. I'm just kidding. But that's my thoughts on Side Order so far. I hope that you can maybe at the end of this segment come to a conclusion whether you're buying it or not. If not, that's cool. Research the game some more. Go on the eShop. Look at how the trailers look at how it's described, its description. Read it all, see if it sounds engaging, and then make up your mind. But that is my first impressions on Splatoon 3 Side Order. Attention, can you hear me? The clip that you just watched from my podcast, The Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, has just ended. If you want to see the full episode, click right here. If you want to subscribe to this channel or my main channel, click one of these channels down here. It's all great stuff. Adios from another life.